They called it cleansing. To the Zor Dominion it was not murder, not atrocity, merely maintenance. New Carthage was a green world, a human colony barely 70 years old, orbiting a yellow star on the fringe of the Perseus Arm. It had no major military presence, no strategic resources, just farms, oceans, and families. At 300 local time, the Zor fleet emerged from slipspace. 12 capital ships, black as obsidian, their hulls veined with plasma conduits glowing blue-white. They descended like gods of fire, blotting out the stars. The first bombardment was surgical. Orbital platforms vaporized, defense grids snuffed out in seconds. Then the second wave came. Not precision, not war. Annihilation. Columns of light fell from orbit, scarring continents. Oceans boiled. Cities turned to glass. In the command chamber of the Zor flagship Vigilant Spear, Arch-Commander Varix watched the destruction unfold through the main viewport. His mandibles clicked in satisfaction as he addressed his subordinates. Human expansion is an infection. We cauterize it before it spreads. Record this cleansing for the archives. His officers bowed, their chitinous armor gleaming in the reflection of the burning planet. And the survivors, Arch-Commander? One asked. There will be none. But there were. Down in the ash of what once was New Carthage, deep in the ruins of Caldera City, a small group of colonists huddled in the underground evacuation tunnels. Children, engineers, farmers. The emergency comm beacon blinked weakly, sending a single, repeating transmission into the void. This is New Carthage. Under attack. Civilian population? Any fleet? Anyone? The Zor never heard it. But Earth did Dawutu. The laughter of conquerors. The Dominion celebrated for 9 cycles, from the throne world of Shor Keth to the frontier citadels. Holographic banners displayed the footage of New Carthage's cleansing. The Dominion Senate declared it a strategic victory for galactic purity. In their eyes, humanity was a species of sentimental traders and explorers. Fragile things bound by ethics and mercy. A species that had refused to expand through conquest, preferring diplomacy. To them, humanity was soft, predictable. On the broadcast networks of the Dominion, anchors sneered through their jagged teeth. The Terrans will whimper before the might of Zor. They will send envoys, not armies. Even the lesser races of the galaxy, those who had bowed to the Dominion centuries ago, murmured their agreement. The humans would protest. They would send words. They would not dare send fleets. One Dominion general, during a celebratory feast, raised a crystalline chalice of liquid flame and laughed. The Terrans? They do not even believe in vengeance. They will write their condolences and build another colony. Let them try. We will cleanse again. And when news came that Earth had issued no immediate declaration, no retaliatory strikes, the Dominion's confidence solidified into arrogance. The stars were silent. Humanity, it seemed, was cowed. For 90 days the void stayed still. No human fleets. No retaliation, only silence. The Zor thought it was victory. They never understood that silence. Was humanity's inhale. 3. The silence before the storm. When the message from New Carthage reached Earth, it was already too late. The colony was gone. 11.2 million lives extinguished. The footage, the orbital bombardment, the screams, the light, was reviewed in the dark chambers beneath the United Earth Council. No one spoke for hours. Finally, Admiral Tarek Singh, Supreme Commander of the Terran Defense Armada, broke the silence. They exterminated civilians. Children, the council chairwoman whispered. Do we have confirmation? We have proof. Singh's voice was a blade. The Dominion recorded it themselves. They wanted us to see. In that moment, Earth did not weep. It did not beg. It began counting fleets, counting tonnage, counting debts. Within days, the industrial moons of Titan, Luna, and Ganymede were on full mobilization. The shipyards of Proxima Forge ran at triple capacity, their orbital rings lit like halos of vengeance. The Dominion's spies reported the buildup, but their analysts dismissed it. Retaliation? One Exor strategist hissed, his mandibles twitching in amusement. The humans cannot face us. They have no dreadnoughts capable of breaching our hyperlane networks. Let them gather toys. It will not matter. They were wrong. Earth had not been idle during its centuries of peace. Behind its diplomacy, behind its trade fleets, it had built arcs of war. Silent leviathans never deployed, sleeping beneath the ice of Europa and in the clouds of Neptune. Each bore a name: Hellas, Retribution, Vigil, Nemesis, Aurora's Edge. Ships not made for defense, ships made for judgment. And as the fleet councils assembled in orbit around Earth, Admiral Singh gave a single order that would echo through eternity. No negotiations, no warnings, no mercy. Full. The awakening of the Terran Armada. The first sign the galaxy noticed was the silence in the communication bands. Human trading convoys vanished from the space lanes. Civilian traffic ceased. Earth's embassies went dark. Then came the flare signatures. Deep space observatories in the Orion Spur recorded the impossible. Thousands of warp spikes, emerging simultaneously across multiple sectors. Entire constellations lit up with blue fire as Terran ships folded through the void in perfect unison. At first, the Dominion thought it was a glitch. Then they received a single transmission, broadcast across all known frequencies. This is Earth Command. By order of the Terran Council, the Zor Dominion is declared an enemy of humanity. All Zor vessels, colonies, and military assets are to be considered hostile. There will be no quarter. The message repeated 3 times, then the network went dead again. When the first Terran dreadnoughts emerged from slipspace, even the void seemed to recoil. Their hulls were matte black composites, built to absorb sensor pings. No ornate markings, no banners, only a single sigil etched in white across every prow. For New Carthage. Their engines burned cold blue, silent but unstoppable. The Dominion's frontier fleets never stood a chance. At Kalar's Reach, 27 human ships engaged a Zor battle group of 300 and annihilated it in less than 6 minutes. At Raxon Belt, Terran kinetic rods, city-sized tungsten slugs, were dropped onto shore colonies, vaporizing continents. At the twin moons of Dravath, orbital bombardments painted the night sky in fire for 3 days straight. Every Terran broadcast was short, emotionless. Engagement complete. No survivors. Continuing to next target, the Dominion Senate panicked. Orders screamed across their network. Retreat to inner systems. Fortify the core worlds! But humanity had already calculated the coordinates. They weren't coming for victory. They were coming for extinction. V. The Wrath of Earth. The Battle of Zhorketh lasted 11 hours. By the time the human fleet arrived, the Dominion's core defenses were fully arrayed. 2,000 warships, fortress moons, orbital platforms. They never mattered. When the Terran dreadnought Hellas entered orbit, it released its payload, the Ares Protocol. Thousands of autonomous war drones, spheres of molten metal, self-replicating, guided by AI networks linked directly to the fleet's tactical cores, swarmed the orbital defenses like locusts of living fire. Every Zor warship hit by them went dark within seconds. Hulls melted, reactors imploded. From orbit, Retribution opened fire with its spinal lance, a beam of concentrated plasma that cut through a battleship line as easily as sunlight through mist. And when the Dominion tried to surrender, to open channels, to beg, Earth did not answer. The human fleet's silence was more terrifying than any weapon. Within hours, the planetary shields of Zhorketh collapsed. Admiral Singh gave the order. Surface bombardment. Maximum yield. The bombardment lasted 8 hours. Mountains turned to rivers of glass. The seas boiled away. The atmosphere burned. The Dominion's capital was erased from existence. And when the fire ended, only the shattered crust of Zhorketh remained, cracked and lifeless, a monument to arrogance. The shattering of the Dominion, the rest of the Dominion crumbled in days. Without command, their fleets scattered. Some tried to flee, others surrendered to neutral worlds. But humanity's fleets hunted them still. At the citadel of Velan Prime, human shock troops landed in drop pods, encased in armor that withstood railgun impacts. The Zor garrisons fired until their weapons melted, but the humans kept coming, methodical, silent, unstoppable. They did not take prisoners. They did not broadcast victory speeches. They simply erased every symbol of the Dominion from existence. The last surviving arch-commander, Varix, the one who had ordered New Carthage's destruction, was found on a drifting escape vessel near the edge of the scutum. Terran Marines boarded it. They dragged him to the command deck of Hellas. Admiral Singh stood before him, his expression calm. "You wanted humanity's end," he said quietly. "You ended yourselves." Varix tried to speak, perhaps to justify, perhaps to plead, but the humans simply turned away. A moment later, the Hellas's main cannon fired. The escape vessel ceased to exist. 7th, the silence after vengeance. When it was done, the stars were quiet again. The Dominion was gone. Its worlds burned to cinders, its fleets reduced to drifting wreckage. The lesser species who had once bowed to its rule, watched from afar, trembling. In the ruins of their empire, the humans did not linger. They did not plant flags or claim territory. They simply transmitted one message across the galactic network. A message every world received, every species heard. This is Earth. We did not seek war, but if war finds us again, there will be nothing left to find. Then the fleets withdrew, vanishing into the dark. The galaxy never forgot. Not the images of burning worlds, not the silence of those human voices, not the way Earth's vengeance came like a storm from nowhere. Cold, precise, unstoppable. And on the ruins of Jorketh, in the blackened stone where a city once stood, an ancient warning was carved by an unknown hand: never provoke Earth again. Bait. The whisper among star centuries later. Traders passing through the outer systems still tell the story. They say that sometimes, when the void is quiet, you can hear a signal, Tansaw faint, looping endlessly across the galactic background noise. It's a human voice, old, scarred, steady. This is New Carthage, under attack. Any fleet, anyone, the message that started it all. And the listeners, even those born long after the war, still shudder when they hear it because they all know what came next. The invaders wanted humanity's end, but in the end, they ended themselves.